Well, since we are a USCG documented vessel, even though we're not in the water yet, I figured I'd get myself a US yacht ensign, which, in case you don't know, is a Betsy Ross flag with an anchor in the middle of the stars. And I'm a big fan of the Betsy Ross flag. You know, someone with ancestors who fought in the American Revolution at Bunker Hill. So I figured, why not? Do a makeshift little flagpole, stick it in one of the holes for the nav lights, and fly that puppy while I'm working on the boat. Alright, back to ripping out the Forepeak. Alright guys, got a fresh battery for the GoPro, got the other one on the charger. Got all the trim that I had ripped out prior out of the boat. And, well, it's pretty warm in here. So I'm going to get my respirator on. And I'm going to get back to, I'm actually going to start gutting the Forepeak. Probably vacuum a little bit as I go, just to get all the paint dust up. But, yep, let's do it. Oh, by the way, like my sweatshirt? Acorn to Arabella, their store had a sale, so I figured I'd pick one up, 40 bucks. Not bad for a nice hoodie. Yeah, so I'm going to start getting all this assembly out of here. So yeah, let's get rolling. Working all hunched over like this is killer on the lower back. I will say I am so glad that they invented hex head nuts and bolts. Because if this was a hex head, I'd just chuck a socket into my impact and just do it that way, instead of having to screw with pliers. Looks like we got the water fill hoses attached to this. wrap. Alright, so that whole Vee Berth aft assembly is out. Just gotta get these supports and those out. Alright, about 3 p.m. now, Sunday the 4th. I have gotten all of the crap out, except for that one. I still gotta remove the trim from that. In keeping with my obsession with saving all the trim. Mahogany. Expensive. Even though I have a pretty good stock of mahogany, which I will probably cut to right now, just to show you. They remodeled the showroom where I work, and there were like 3 4-foot 4x4 mahogany posts, and one cut in half mahogany post. So there's going to be a lot of good stock for that. I'll be able to, once I get a good bandsaw, I'll be able to resaw that and use that for lumber. But anyway, let's get set up in here. Figure out how to do that. Name of the game with this is we're going to take these support pieces out, and then we're going to start ripping out these. All this plywood on the sides. Because I really want to see what's underneath here. Nothing like a good sharp sawzall blade to get old shitty nuts and bolts off. These shoulder bolts are behind a 1/4 inch veneer panel in the head. So that's just a hunk of pressure treated 2x4 with a couple of those stainless plank screws. So we have the vast majority of our Forepeak sheathing ripped out and on the floor in the main cabin. I have a bit left to rip out. I gotta rip out that chain locker bulkhead, and then the plywood sheathing goes all the way up to the stem assembly. So we're gonna get that all ripped out. Get any other large pieces of junk out of here. Then I'm going to take this and cut it up into about foot-long pieces, bag it up. And then next time I do a dump run, we'll get rid of that. Because I'm not saving any of this. I do not plan on plywood sheathing anything in this boat. It's just, the plywood sheathing, in my opinion, and from what I've seen with this boat, you have wood butting up against each other. It's the next plank on the inside of the hull, right? So you already have that on a Carvel plank boat. You have that on the main hull, and you have those boards swollen with moisture, frames swollen with moisture. Seals everything up, works very well for the purpose. But then if you sheathe the inside with tight-fitting planks, then you're trapping moisture in there. You're not allowing anything to breathe. So, I'm not going to be putting much of any sheathing on here. In one of the previous episodes, we removed those mahogany slats. So if I do anything, it'll be something like that. But, I mean, that remains to be seen. But we are certainly not building up plywood walls on the inside of the hull anywhere in this boat. We had this going on underneath all the berths. We had it going on all the way everywhere in the Forepeak, and it just invites rot because it traps that moisture in between the frames and the planks and that inside sheathing layer. And that's the thing too. Ripping out all the stuff in this boat, we are substantially reducing the places upon which to set things, such as cameras and tools. Oh. Cool. And I didn't even kill that light bulb. This space sucks to work in. Interesting. The Samson post is secured on with some sort of iron bracket. Alright. I'm gonna get that piece, and I'll get these. And then besides vacuuming, we're done with this area for now. Yes, is a wonderful space to work in. water in that pipe. All right. This area is deaded. Hey guys, Matt here. It's the next day, and I left off last night after I'd cut up all the plywood scrap that I pulled out of the Forepeak, and figured I'd put a little work in. I got everything vacuumed up, so this area got all covered in paint chips and sawdust from doing the work I was doing. Just cutting up all that plywood with the Sawzall and whatnot. So, I'm just going to give you guys an overview of what we have so far. So we can see, I mean, we got checking from expanded corroded fasteners, but very, very little in the way of actually cracked frames or planks that look all that worse for wear on the inside. Which is nice. Got this stuff where it's split outward from corroded iron fasteners. Loaded out this one. This one's kind of checked out going that way. So thus far, I found this cracked frame. Here we are in the Forepeak. Here's our main mast step where I found that quarter. So we got cracked frame here. Right there. Got a crack in this one, but it doesn't appear to go all the way through. And crack here, crack going like that on that one. But I mean, got some spongy areas. But really, I mean, these are not too horrible. One thing I've noticed, so I pointed out before, this dead wood here, that's all shot. That sinks right in there. Our Samson post is attached by an iron bracket. So that'll have to be... See, a couple of newer frames have been put in up there. We've got... It's interesting why it's blocked up there. So we have a lot of like impromptu repairs. On this side we got blocked in there, sister piece there, and then another sister going down there. So this is going to need a good amount of work. But I mean, really, it's not too terrible. That hole's where the deck fill for the water tanks came in. That plywood up there, as well as up there, is gone. We got our teak decks up in front of there. Like these timbers, they're looking pretty good. The keelson here, the mast step on it. Not too bad, all things considered. Let's see out the window. Well, let's go to the other side here. Yeah, not too shabby. My little heater. Anyway, guys, thanks for tuning in, and I'll catch you on the next one. Thanks for watching this week's episode. Don't forget to smash those like, subscribe, and bell buttons. See you next week.